My fellow St. Martiners, good afternoon. I am addressing you today regarding the approach of Tropical Storm Grace. As you are well aware, this is the third month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. From the start of the season, the Office of Disaster Management has been sending out information via the media about how to prepare for the hurricane season and to be prepared in the event action needs to be taken due to a threat to our country. Today, Saturday, August 14th, we have Tropical Storm Grace heading towards the Leeward Islands, which includes St. Martin. The country is under a tropical storm warning, and based on the approach of the storm, residents should be finalizing preparations for tropical storm conditions by the end of today. The government's Emergency Operations Center, EOC, comprising of its 10 emergency support functions, have been busy for the past few days monitoring these weather systems and have mobilized resources and manpower in preparation for the passing of Tropical Storm Grace. Tropical Storm Grace is a bit stronger, and therefore it is expected to make the necessary preparations as weather conditions can change quickly. Joining me today, we have our head of the Meteorological Department of St. Martin, Mr. Joseph Isaac, as well as Emergency Coordinator, Mr. Clive Richardson, and they will also be giving a few words before I close off. Mr. Isaac?
Thank you, Prime Minister, and let me say good afternoon to the general public. Just to update, at 2 o'clock, Tropical Storm Grace was about 310 miles east-southeast of St. Martin. And on this track, it is expected that at the closest sometime tomorrow, the storm is expected to be 45 miles south of St. Martin. And that means as a result of that, and based on the information we have received, we expect that the storm through its passage could produce flooding situations in terms of heavy rainfall, gusty winds of up to 45 miles per hour. And as a result, we think it is very important that persons take the necessary precautions, because we know that these things can change quickly. There are not a number of measures we were not able to use this time. So a lot of the information we're getting from the National Hurricane Center is actually used from satellite-derived winds and those radars and so on. Because of the challenges with the COVID-19, they have not been able to send an aircraft into the system to get the actual measurements. So we think it best that we prepare at the high end, which is 45 miles per hour winds and possible higher gusts, and rainfall amounts up to 6 inches. When we say rainfall among up to 6 inches, we're talking about over the entire course of the passage of the storm. And that would mean that we would have shorter periods where you have more significant rainfall than others. This could ensue into street flooding, and in some areas flooding in low-lying areas. So we expect persons to use the necessary caution. In terms of the wind speeds, we're not looking at any fixed structure that you would lose your roof or anything like that, but loose material could be floated around tents that are not well tied down and so on. In terms of the seas, we're looking at seas up till 9 feet. That should mean that persons who are close to the sea or have crafts that are not properly secured at sea, they should take care of them. 9 feet waves will affect us, and as much as possible, people should stay out of the water. So that's the situation we're looking at. At the closest, as we said, we expect the center to be 45 miles from St. Martin. The winds extend up to 25 miles from the 2 o'clock report. That could change if the system develops. If it moves a little further south, then it means it will be further from us. There are a lot of different parameters we can look at and juggle here and there, but the important thing is that we have to have a sort of baseline, and the baseline we use in here is 45 miles per hour with higher gusts and rainfall up to 6 inches waves up to 9 feet. We go overnight with the winds into Sunday with the rainfall and so on. We're hoping by about Monday morning, things should be cleared. During that period, the Meteorological Department will continue updating. If anything changed, the information will be available to the public.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac. Also with us is National Disaster Coordinator, Mr. Clive Richardson, who has been meeting with the EOC, and I would like, or been in contact with them. And Clive, I now give you the floor to be able to update the people of St. Martin.
Thank you, PM. Good afternoon to the general public. As was said earlier, we have been in contact with the ESF coordinators that make up the heart of the EOC to make sure that everything has been put in place, the necessary procedures, protocols have been put in place, and we were guaranteed that this has been done. So the EOC is prepared if anything changes. I ask the people of St. Martin to stay vigilant, monitor social media, monitor the media for any changes, any updates. Also, during the passing of the tropical storm, as it is now, to, if it's not necessary, to please stay off the road, stay inside, stay safe. And also remember the seriousness of the COVID, the D variant, the Delta variant, to continue minimizing socializing in large groups, continue wearing your face mask when you're outside, wash your hands, and stay safe. That's the message that we have at the moment to the general public. Please stay vigilant and monitor the media, the social media, as we will continue updating the public. Thank you, Pierre.
Thank you very much, Disaster Coordinator Clive Richardson and Chief of Police, for that update. I would like to remind all that if they do feel unsafe in their homes, to make preparations to go to family and or friends, also recognizing the need to observe the COVID-19 regulations, which we have in effect since 2020 and which we have been reiterating. In a subsequent broadcast, we will be bringing more updates on, of course, where we stand with COVID-19 and all that the general public, business owners should be doing. But in terms of preparing, we are now looking at basically two situations within the Leeward Islands, both COVID and this impending tropical storm. So ensure, of course, that within your homes and anywhere else that you may have to go, that you have masks and that you can properly socially distance from others and keep your hands and general area clean. As Mr. Isaac mentioned, he already mentioned all the specifics related to that, but a flood advisory warning will be issued if necessary. We will continue to be updated by the Meteorological Department. And so, as Mr. Richardson mentioned, stay tuned to the official broadcast from the Meteorological Department and the government of St. Martin as to the effects specific to St. Martin. As you know, with storms, things can change and change very quickly. So remain in tune, ensure that you have all your preparations in place prior to any heavy rainfall that might take place, as we did expect or do expect some local flooding in areas where that usually happens. We will continue to update you as the days go by, and we ask the people of St. Martin to remain safe, to remain indoors as much as possible, and finalize all preparations, especially for things that can be easily blown away, to secure not just your property, but those of the people living within your community. The government radio station 107.9 FM will be broadcasting official information and news before, during, and after the passing of any storm. Of course, the official weather-related information can also be found on the Meteorological Department of St. Martin, www.meteosxm.com, or on their social media page, facebook.com/St. Martin Weather. Remember, it only takes one storm to make a bad season, and we're still not quite to the middle of it yet. So continue to be prepared, be safe, and may the Almighty continue to keep us secure and safe during this hurricane season. Thank you very much.